Hello, and welcome to the Stupid Sequels podcast, where we find truly terrible movies and give them all the attention they don't deserve. Each episode will discuss exactly what made such a horrible sequel, from casting to budget to just plain bad writing. While we all love a great movie, there's something just a little more fun about watching a seriously stupid sequel. Now, while there are plenty of awful sequels out there, we have a few guidelines about the kind of movies we'll be reviewing here. We're talking about direct-to-video, made-for-TV, never appeared in a theater sequels. The ones the studios gave up on before they even started. Okay, how are you feeling?
This is weird.
It's very weird. This is the first episode. Okay, here we go. This week, my guest is Rebecca, and we'll be discussing Cinderella 2 Dreams Come True, the sequel to Cinderella. Hello, Becca.
Hello.
How you feeling?
This is weird.
It's very weird.
This thing is in my face.
I know. It's like just staring at the pop filters, very like hello. But it's fun.
Is it a spit filter?
Yeah, it's basically.
Okay.
It's so you can pop your peas as crisply as you please.
Enunciate your words.
Enunciation. Yes, it's very fun. These came with my very ghetto sound studio, which I built on my coffee table.
I really, really dig this setup. It looks official, even though it looks
like it was made out of Dollar Tree duct tape.
Is this Dollar Tree duct tape? It's kind of cool.
I bought the sound filter stuff online because it came with the pop filters, and then I just bought like a trifold class presentation thing at Dollar Tree.
Hey.
And glued it on.
It works. Who cares how much it costs?
Yeah.
No one's going to see it.
This is my $20 studio. It's very official. Okay, so we are comparing Cinderella. Why don't you give us our brief synopsis of the first movie?
Brief synopsis. Okay, well, let's see. One day, one girl wakes up and birds sing. And all the animals are singing at her. And
singing animals are key.
Yes, definitely key. And she is... I can't really describe Cinderella. Basically, it's like this girl who is bad luck and just everything horrible happens to her, gets all her dreams come true at one special ball.
Yes, because everything turns around in one night. So basically, girl has an amazing father. He dies. She's left with stepmother, stepsisters. There's a ball. There's a shoe. She loses it. She finds it at the end. If you guys don't know Cinderella, you're going to be really lost in this podcast. So
did you read the original story of Cinderella?
Do you mean did I watch Ever After? Because then yes.
No, the grim...
Oh no, where the sisters cut off their toes and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dark as fuck.
And then she basically gets stuck on tar. That's how he gets the shoe.
Yeah, it's not ooh, my shoe fell off. There's 3 balls, and it's a masked ball, which is why he doesn't recognize her. Which,
exactly.
That makes more sense. And he's like, oh, this bitch gonna run away again? And he puts tar on the stairs so her shoe gets stuck. It does not, gently slip off. And actually, it was never a glass slipper. It was a fur slipper, but the words for glass and fur in French are very similar. That's where the confusion came from. Okay, so just for comparison, the original got a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. Guesses for how much the sequel got?
I'm gonna guess 45.
11%.
11%? That's so rude.
That is an 86% difference between the original and the sequel. So, the original came out in 1950 with a budget of $2.9 million, and it made $263 million.
Well, I would imagine so. I mean, it's billion. So marketable.
It is. And, actually, it was the studio was doing really poorly, and they're like, fuck, we're not going to do it. And the movie was so successful and made back 100 times its budget. It's basically why Disneyland got to exist, because it became the Disneyland shows, the Disney stores, it really built the whole empire on top of that. Okay, so obviously there's a 52-year gap between the movies, so we don't have any of the original cast back. We don't have any of the original composers or directors or anything. So what made you love the original?
I loved the fairy godmother, of course.
Bibbidi bobbidi boo.
I mean, that was awesome. And the mice.
The mice are so cute.
They're so adorable. And I'm sorry, Lucifer.
Lucifer.
I always wanted a cat. like Lucifer, even though he was just so terrible.
So apparently, like, they were trying to audition a bunch of, like, cats for, like, the model drawing. This is one of the movies where they did, like, model drawings, and they could not find a cat that was right, and Disney, like, went over to the main animator's house, and he had this big black and white cat, and he was like, bro, there's your Lucifer right there, your cat. And he's like, oh, my cat is the devil, and that was Lucifer. And he got to come to the premiere.
Oh, he's so
They brought the cat
cute.
to the premiere.
But yeah, definitely a movie that loves cats.
Even though he gets thrown out the window at the end of the first one.
I know.
But he lives, clearly.
But honestly, cats are kind of, they're the devil.
Oh, I love the whole part in the first one where, like, Bruno, did you have a dream? Mm-hmm. Did you dream you were chasing the cat? Mm-hmm. Did you dream you caught him? Mm-hmm. That's bad. A bitch can't dream about defeating his enemies?
I know.
So rude.
I mean, she's all about the dreams all the time. I mean, she
dream
sings a damn song about it.
Is a wish your heart makes.
Exactly. So his wish was to beat the cat.
Yeah. He didn't say, like, I mauled it to death. It's like, I caught him. Let a dog dream. Okay.
And I love the way his feet move when he dreams.
Oh, Bruno is so cute. Okay, so something cool you probably didn't know about the original is a lot of the consulting with the costumes. Guess who Disney was friends with at the time? You'll love this.
I don't know.
Salvador Dali.
Huh.
Salvador Dali came up with the color schemes for the stepsisters to be in direct contrast to Cinderella's color palette.
Really?
Yeah, Salvador Dali and Disney were bros at the time, which I think is amazing.
Well, that kind of makes sense. Salvador Dali did a lot of animation art.
Yeah.
And I read an article the other day about he did a whole works of Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, he was a huge part of the consulting with Alice in Wonderland with Disney. So this movie was nominated for 3 Oscars for Best Sound, Scoring of a Musical, and Best Song, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo.
Really?
Yes. It was the first, it's the first song ever to use double-backed vocals. So, you know, when she's singing Swing Sweet Nightingale with herself?
Yeah.
That was the first time they'd ever done that.
Huh.
And the second people to ever do it were the Beatles, so...
Hey.
Get it, Disney. And this contains Walt Disney's favorite piece of animation where she turns from the ripped dress to the ball gown.
Oh, that's really cool.
That's his, he goes, it was just the perfect manifestation of, like, everything comes together. It's like a perfect expression of magic and joy and love. It's Disney's favorite piece of animation. So they had not had a huge success since Snow White in 1937. And if it failed, it would have been the end of Disney Studios.
That sounds about right.
It's insane. Okay, so now that we've discussed the amazing original, which we've all watched a million times with our parents and our babysitters and our friends, let's talk about Cinderella 2, Dreams Come True.
Honestly, this is one of my favorite sequels. I've watched it a zillion times. I used to have it on videotape because I'm apparently that old now.
I think I watched it with you. I watched it on VHS with you.
Yeah.
Because you said I want to do the Cinderella sequel, and I had to specify which one.
Yeah, well, there's 2.
There's 2.
The third one isn't as good.
No. Twist in Time.
It's so dumb.
Which is so weird.
It's so dumb.
Okay, so the opening of the movie, we see the mice playing with Pom Pom, who is the palace cat.
Okay, can we talk about Pom Pom for a minute? Her animation is so bizarre.
It's truly bizarre.
She, like, has, like, she's fat on, like, on the top of her, and then her legs are super skinny.
Skinny little chicken legs.
I don't know if it's, like, her fur or something, but it's just, like, how does she stand up?
Okay, and can we also talk about, so the mice are like, ooh, Cinderella's back, and they go, like, running through, like, the walls. Okay, so I would buy that, like, at the house Cinderella has lived at her whole life, the mice have, like, built this intricate tunnel system. The palace just came with one, too.
Right.
And also, how did that conversation go down? Like, Cinderella, we're gonna take you to the castle. Quick sec, I have to go upstairs, pack my box of friends. I'll be right back. Before we let on the honeymoon, I'm just gonna let them loose in the castle. Castle staff, please don't kill my mice. You'll know they're my mice because they'll all be wearing tiny t-shirts. Like,
that I make for them all the time.
How the fuck did that conversation go?
I don't think it happened. I think the prince would have, like, said, you're batshit crazy. Maybe I shouldn't have married you.
Exactly. Because she's just like, bye mice, going on my honeymoon. Like, okay. And can we just say, like, poor Cinderella had to go through her entire childhood being a slave to her stepmother and her stepsisters. And it was, like, literally, she was at the lowest point of her life. She'd had, like, clothes ripped off her back, half beaten, before the fairy godmother showed up. But apparently now she has time to read mice fairy tales.
Right? She's always present.
Like, she just pops up. She's like, oh, one mouse. Are you feeling sad? Let me instantaneously grant your wish that you didn't even ask for out loud. You just, like, inferred it. And it's like, oh, do you want me to do that? I totally got, like, poor Cinderella had to, like, hit rock fucking bottom before anything happened. And she's reading them Cinderella's own story?
Like, didn't they, like, live it or something?
Wouldn't that... And then they're like, oh, man, can't you read us another one? And she's like, it's the only Cinderella story there is. We only read Cinderella. That sounds like a cult.
Yeah, it does.
And today we shall tell the tale of Cinderella the Wise.
But but it was more like, I feel like she said that not just because, like, that's the only story she reads. I think, honestly, she was fucking tired of reading. Because you get tired of reading out loud.
Your mouth gets sore.
It's so exhausting. And then you get to that point where you just stop pronouncing the words correctly because your mouth is so tired and you just want to stop.
So remember the summer that we were counselors at Bible camp and we made it Dr. Seuss themed?
Yes.
I came to hate Dr. Seuss because your mouth hurts after reading a Dr. Seuss book.
It's so obnoxious. I tell my ESL students all the time to read Dr. Seuss because it's so
Rebecca is
good.
a teacher, for record. Rebecca is a teacher. That's why she will talk about being around tiny children very often.
And old adults, too.
And adults, too.
But I tell my adult students to read Dr. Seuss because, you know, it's obnoxious, but it's so helpful for pronunciation.
Mm-hmm. It's a great tongue twister. And, like, it's a lot of comprehension. But it's so annoying to read out loud. So she's like, girl, I come to a castle to read for mice. I'm not reading you another one. And so they decide that they're going to make a new Cinderella book that includes all of them. And they rip off the best piece of animation from the original, which is when the girl mouse, like, licks the piece of thread to, like, go through the needle's eye.
Yes!
And she shoves her whole arm through. They immediately do that in the sequel.
I know.
It's, like, the best piece of animation from the, like, I laughed because she, like, licks it to be so precise and then shoves her entire arm through the eye of the needle. And and this is the other thing I've noticed with Disney sequels, is they're weirdly, like, modern. Where, like...
Meaning what?
Like, they're like, oh, let's get out all the art supplies. And they have, like, Crayola crayons.
Right.
And, like, metal paint tubes and, like, a glue stick. Like, what? Like, obviously there's, like, modern humor in the old Disney movies. But it's, like, we'll talk about later on. But they make, like, jokes that are, like, clearly very modern. And it bugs me.
I know. Well, it's hard to stay in the time period. But... it entertained kids.
Yeah.
Because kids don't know that shit.
But it's weird that they only do that in the sequels. It's like, we've given up. Fuck it. Like,
we're tired.
Okay, so the first story that the mice are going to tell are about Cinderella's first day in the castle. And she's just getting back from her honeymoon. All characters we pretty much know. It's the prince, it's Cinderella, it's the father, and then the new character is Prudence, who is, like, the head of castle staff or whatever. And, okay, because this was driving me nuts, the voice of Cinderella is Sam from Totally Spies. If anyone else watched that show, Becca does not.
I don't, sorry.
But she's also Miss Keene from the Powerpuff Girls.
Which I totally knew.
And the prince is Prince Eric from The Little Mermaid, and he does return for Cinderella 3, Twist in Time.
Because he has nothing better to do.
Yeah. So Cinderella lands at the castle, and they're like, hey girl, we know you've been a princess for like 5 minutes. Plan us a party. Okay, like, hi, I've been a princess for 5 minutes. You couldn't help? You couldn't be like, we're going to plan a party and you'll just call yourself the hostess. Do princesses actually have to party plan?
I think it depends on the time period and the type of princess you are.
Definitely.
I mean, if you're going to be queen, then yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to be queen. But, like, on her first day, like...
Well, I feel like... Well, it wasn't like she was planning it. It was she's being taught how to plan it.
Yeah, but
which is more realistic.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, do you want this color napkin or this color napkin? And she's like, that one. And they're like, wrong. I'm like, okay, then don't do that. They'll just be like, hey, we picked the bone-colored napkins because this and that. Take notes.
Well, I feel like they weren't trying to teach her like in a nice way. They were trying to teach her in a scare tactic way, like, oh, you don't know the difference. That's why you need to be taught.
And it's like, okay, I get Cinderella's not royalty. I totally do. But, like, she obviously lived with aristocratic people. Like, her mother is Lady Tremaine. She's somewhat fancy.
Well, I feel like another thing is that she was young when her mother and her father died. So, like, she went from being, like, a spoiled child to a servant. So she didn't really understand going from, like, she didn't do that transition where she learned how to be a lady.
Yeah.
She learned how to be a spoiled brat child, and then she went to a peasant.
She doesn't seem to get how royalty works, period, because her first day in the castle, she's like, I'm gonna go make myself breakfast in my old scullery maid outfit. Like, I would have burned that outfit. Like, all of the bad memories that went down in that dress,
know.
I'd be like, okay, like, I want, like, a casual dress for, like, roaming around the castle, but, like, I'm gonna still wear my old ripped apron from being a fucking servant. Like, and then she's like, I'm gonna make myself an omelet. Like, what?
Cheese omelet.
What? Cheese omelets.
I never understood that joke, which is weird because I'm really smart. I know.
Like cheese.
I know. That was like, I got it when I watched it, I was just like, oh my god, I totally missed that joke.
Yeah. Oh.
Cheese.
To be fair, the last time we probably watched it was when we were 9.
Yeah, probably.
Or last week.
No.
Okay, other thing that bugged me. So, she goes down to the castle gates, and she's like, and there's a bunch of, like, villagers there. She's like, oh, my friends. Cinderella doesn't have friends? Like,
since when?
The whole point that she's friends with mice is she's not friends with any other people. And also, if she had friends this whole time, why didn't they help her?
I know.
Like, hey, girl, your family's clearly a slave. You don't owe them shit. Come live with one of us. You obviously have skills in, like, cooking and cleaning. But, like, oh, now that you're a princess, we're your friends. Fuck you. Like,
I know, she's kind of naive.
She is.
She's extremely naive. Not kind of.
Okay, so then we get the, like, My Fair Lady montage where, like, she's walking with a book on her head and she can't do anything right. And it's like, I picked the wrong napkins. I picked the wrong dessert. I picked the wrong... Like, she's getting everything wrong. Everything's going wrong that possibly could. And they all yell at her and they call her a disaster, which, like, she's still royal, guys. Like, even if, like, she's like, oh, she's podunk royal, whatever. Like, she could still go to her husband and be like, the staff was really rude to me, execute them. She fully could. This is France.
I know. And then, I always thought it was funny that Prudence liked prunes.
I just got that.
Like, it's just so, like, that's probably why they named her Prudence, because she likes prunes. I like them. Like,
stewed prunes. And Gussie's like, stewed prunes.
Like, the fact, I didn't know what prunes were until that. Because I was never exposed to, like, really dried fruit. Like, I got maybe, like, raisins and, like, dried mango because, you know, Mexican.
Yeah.
But prunes? Never.
And not just dried, stewed prunes.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Like, they took dried prunes and then just, like, put them in water and then
boiled
just let them. That sounds terrible. Like, how do you even eat that?
That sounds disgusting. And it's just like a giant vat. And they're, like, describing the dinner. She's like, roast beef, mashed potatoes. And they're like, ew. I'm like, that sounds delicious. Like, I get you're poor and you don't like good food, but, like, roast beef and mashed potatoes is good. Okay, and then we get to my biggest issue with the sequels.
What?
The god-awful pop music interludes.
I love those. I'm sorry.
They're just so out of place. You're like, ooh, a Disney movie. And we've gotten, like, a Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo reprise. And you're like, oh, it's gonna be, like, cute little Okay, first of all, the girl can't sing. She can't. She sings
she
the
can't.
whole song through
But
her
they're
nose.
So catchy.
Her name is Brooke Allison, and she's, like, in a band called, like, B5 or Beach 5.
Oh my god, that sounds like a terrible 90s girl group.
And, like, this movie was supposed to, like, launch her to her solo album.
Oh no, that's terrible.
It did not.
Of course not. That review did not help.
Yeah, it's so bad. Okay, so she's, like, singing this song called, like, Follow Your Heart, which is, like, be true to yourself and people will like you. Fuck with the palaces, throw your own party. Like,
okay.
Also the songs just literally narrate what's happening.
That pissed me off. Like, you can be a princess, but, like, implement your own, like, things, like, she just, like, rejected it completely.
Like, yeah, it's called adapting. Like, but she's like, no, fuck your traditions. I do what I want. Which, like, to be fair, is how she became a princess. But, like, girl, for your first party, maybe pull back. Like, pick your battles.
Just a little bit. Like, yeah, serving, like, chocolate pudding instead of prunes. Like, yeah, that's a change you need to make soon. But,
yeah.
Just...
And it's so funny because she's like, oh, we're gonna, like, invite all the villagers in. And they're like, oh, okay. And she's like, and we're gonna have chocolate pudding. And they're like, oh, okay. And she's like, and we need some light in here. And she opens the window and the entire staff is like, like, she killed someone. I'm like,
I know. That was weird.
Opening the window.
Did you notice that the king and the prince's outfits every day are darker?
What?
Like, the king's outfit is black when he's in the castle. And then the prince's outfit is, like, dark blue.
Like, oh, did you notice that Cinderella's dresses are just a version of her blue dress in various colors?
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's like, I think it comes down to, like, it's like pink, yellow, green, and then she wears the blue one at the end of the movie. Like, she's just wearing the same, like, you couldn't design a different, okay. Boy.
Yeah, and that, it was just weird to me. And then the whole castle's dark. It was just bizarre.
Which, like, I very much remember from the movie of, like, that huge, like, the castle, like, the windows were, like, 20 feet tall. And, like,
I know.
It was so, like, okay, also, the king has a complete change of character because he was straight up murderous in the movie. Like, remember, he's like, I want my son to have a thing, and if you don't find the girl, I'll chop your head off, and, like, like,
oh, I love that part. That part is hilarious. And especially with the pillows.
When they're bouncing on the bed.
Yes.
Like, 20 feet in the air, and he's just swinging the sword around. And in the movie, he seems like a brain-damaged toddler. He's like, I like pudding. Oh, look, the moon.
But he gets annoyed when... No stewed prunes, like that. He kind of came out, but like for dumb reasons.
Yeah, and like also like he just happens to be friends with a guy from the village. He's like, hey Giuseppe. I'm like, Prince doesn't know. Like King doesn't know Giuseppe.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Stop. Like you're trying to make him relatable. It's not cute. It's not.
I missed the angry one. He was more fun.
Okay, and then so basically Cinderella throws the exact party she wants, and it's like. Banji and Poor as peasant and fuck, and they're like, oh, this is fun.
That music was terrible. It was so bad. Oh my god. It was so bad.
And the prince is like, I think you're gonna get along just fine. Like sitcom laugh. Like it's so bad.
Oh, his teeth. His teeth bug me. It's like he's wearing like an insert.
And they all have dead shark eyes.
Right.
The difference in animation from the first one is so just like, oh,
it's disheartening.
Did you guys trace the original? Because you don't know how to draw. It's so bad.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. Can we talk about the ladies in waiting?
Who like get names and then are never addressed again?
I love Daphne.
Is that her name?
Yes, the
fat one?
Yes. I didn't want to say fat, but yes.
I like chocolate.
I love
her one line.
I love it. She says, cream. Echo?
Cream.
That's Prunes.
Cream. Like, cream.
But it was so cute. Like, she holds them up and she's just like, cream. Echo.
She looks like Merryweather.
Yes.
From Sleeping Beauty. She looks like the fat little fairy, and they just, like, put her in a different outfit.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's so cute. I love that.
I know. She's just, like, that reminds me of a fairy. She's adorable.
She does. Okay, so that's the end of the first story. And so then we see, like, they're physically making this book for Cinderella. And, like, the fairy godmother's helping with magic. And Jack's like, I hate magic. Magic is stupid. Magic is the reason you're in this castle, bro. Like, maybe be grateful.
Oh, okay. So can we talk about the fact that the godmother forgot what, like, magical song she has to sing?
She's like, oh, what's it again? Well, remember, she can't find her wand in the first movie.
But, like, how do you forget that song? It's stuck in your head for, like, years.
Bibbidi.
Bobbidi.
Boo. I maybe the middle part where it's like Sajikadoolamee and Megicaboolaroo. I can get, but like Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. You know that shit.
Like, come on. Like, are you trying to play us here?
Like, I just, because you know how Helena Bonham Carter is her in the new remake with Lily James?
I haven't watched that one.
I haven't seen it either. But I just kept picturing Helena Bonham Carter doing it, but like dressed as Bellatrix Lestrange.
Oh my god. Yes. Can we have that one?
I have not watched the new Cinderella remake. I don't need to.
I know. Like, it's just... I don't understand why they keep doing this. They keep remaking movies that don't need to be remade. Like, Beauty and the Beast was amazing.
Yeah.
But it didn't need to be done.
No, like, okay, if anything, remake the ones that need help. Like, they're remaking Black Cauldron, which I'm like, yes!
I love that one!
No, but Black Cauldron flopped, and it flopped hard.
Yeah, but it's lovable.
It's lovable. But it's like not one of those ones like Rocky Horror Picture Show where like it became a cult classic later. Like, as a studio, you're like, hey, here's a movie that flopped real hard. Let's give it a second chance. And they're doing a live action remake of that one. Like, okay, that makes financial sense to me, but like...
That's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna be awesome or a shit show. Or both. But like, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, these don't need to be remade. They're remaking Lion King.
No! Don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it!
James Earl Jones is still gonna be Mufasa.
Don't touch it.
Donald Glover's gonna be Simba.
I know. I know it's gonna be whatever,
and I
but
think
like...
Billy Eichner is Timon or Pumbaa. I forget who. I think Pumbaa.
Maybe. I don't know.
I forget who the other one's gonna be. But it's like they keep announcing like Blank and Billy Eichner will be Timon and Pumbaa, but they're not specifying who is who. So it's like
maybe they'll switch it up.
Maybe.
That'd be really awesome, actually.
But also, and like, God, I love James Earl Jones. I love James Earl Jones. But like, you're gonna recast the entire movie except for him?
I know. That's weird.
Idris Elba. Idris Elba. Just saying.
Oh my God. He is just so delicious. I love that man so much. Whenever he talks, I'm just like, damn.
I'm gonna say this right now. Idris Elba for Bond.
Oh my God. I would die.
Elba for Bond. First of all, he already is.
Yeah.
He's delicious. He's beautiful. And I love... But everyone's saying, like, Idris Elba is, like, a feminist and, like, a great person. He's too good for Bond. I'm like, but true, though.
Well, maybe he can, like, reinvent Bond into, like, a feminist, amazing guy instead of
or
this
they
guy
make,
just, like, drops in and hooks up with girls and bombs things.
Or they, like, just make, like, a separate, like, spy, like, franchise. And then it's like, what are you, like, Bond or something? And he's just like, fuck Bond, I'm better. Like...
Ooh, like another agent that was better than Bond.
Yes.
Like,
oh, you're 007, bitch, I'm 001. Like,
yeah, or something like that. Like the first secret agent.
Yeah.
Before Bond even happened.
Like, Bond is always trying to be him, and it's like, you'll never be Idris
yes!
Elba. And then we can have, like, vintage 1920 spies. Make it. Make it, Hollywood.
Make it right now.
Make it.
Oh my God. Roaring 20s. Holy shit. That would be so good.
I want a Roaring 20s spy movie. Like, Prohibition. Oh!
They need to make more things about Roaring 20s. They really do.
They really do. Okay, like, the latest Harry Potter movie was great. Because it was in the 1920s, and I loved it.
Oh, it was so pretty.
Okay, so the second story in Cinderella is...
which is my least favorite. I don't care about it.
Jack gets a girlfriend and also becomes human. Okay. So, Jack is going out to pick flowers for Cinderella with Gus because they never get to do anything for her anymore. The castle staff does everything for them. So they're picking her flowers, and Pom Pom is, like, stalking them through the flowers, and...
I love Pom Pom.
Pom Pom. And so Cinderella has to plan another party, or festival.
Oh, yeah, the Spring Festival. Okay, can we talk about the Spring Festival for a minute?
It's like a full-on carnival?
Carousels weren't invented.
No. In, like, the 1400s?
Yeah, carousels were invented in, like, the 1800s in America.
That's what I mean. It's, like, it's anachronistic, not just in, like, ooh, hoo, hoo, we're gonna, like, make a reference to this modern thing. Like, straight up, did you not read a book?
Oh, and the teddy bear. The, like, the string teddy bear in the, like, the kids are watching it.
Yeah.
Those aren't invented.
No. And that's what bugs me about the sequels, is they always, like, it's not like, ooh, we're gonna do this for a joke, where it's, like... Or, like, they make a joke to a modern thing, and they're like, ooh, who would ever want that? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge to the audience. It's like, no, we're straight up gonna just, like, put the cat in a Rasta wig. Like, what? So, yeah, and the dialogue sounds very 90s.
Yeah.
Like, they stopped just short of being like, ooh, girl, I like your dress. Like, it's just short of that. So... Jack is completely oblivious to the fact that Mary the Mouse is flirting with him because he's a man, Becca. And he's just oblivious.
I love how needy she was. She made him a coat.
I made you a coat, and she has a really high voice, and I can't do it.
I don't understand when he's, like, running to... What is he doing again? I forget what he was doing.
Picking flowers?
No, when she gave him the jacket, he took...
Oh!
Yeah, what was he doing?
So he goes to Cinderella, and he's like, I want to help with a party. And she's like, oh, come meet me at the stables in 10 minutes.
Why can't he wear the blue jacket when he's going?
And also, Cinderella, if it takes you, a human, 10 minutes to get from your room to the stables, how long do you think it's going to take a tiny little mouse?
Okay, and I didn't understand why he got in the haystack. Hello, hasn't he heard finding a needle in a haystack?
And also Cinderella looks around for approximately, she's like, oh, he's not hereby.
Yeah.
Like, a tiny mouse, Cinderella. And also, like, what? She's like, oh, you can help me with the party in the horse stables. But then she just gets on a horse and goes on a horse ride? Like, what was the party planning? Or it was just like, Jack, hop in the mouse with me. Okay, like, I'm a princess now, and, like, I just wanted to have this talk with you, and, like, you need to calm the fuck down. Get off my horse. Like, what was that conversation? What was the conversation?
I have no idea. There would be no... How could he help her?
I don't know.
And honestly, like, you helped her enough. Why can't you just, like, relax in the palace and flirt with Mary? Like, get over it.
Get down to some mouse fucking.
Yes.
Make some new friends.
Make some new babies.
And then he's like, oh man, I wish it wasn't so little. And the fairy godmother's like, you rang? Like, out of nowhere. Like, he's not like, I wish I was a human. Like, he's like, it sucks being small.
No, she's trying to poke fun at him to teach him a lesson.
Yeah, and so she turns him into a human. Just like, boop, straight up. And we get Pop Music Interlude 2, where, again, the songs are hilarious because they just narrate what's happening. It's like, you were just 3 inches tall, and now you're 6'2". Look, you're a man. You're not a mouse. Look, you're a person. Like, the songs are so weird. They're so weird. I know you like them. They're so weird.
Yes, they are.
Like, they summarize the 30 seconds that just happened.
I know, I love it.
And the 30 seconds that are about to happen. Because also the songs are only, like, a minute long. And so Jack is just, like, pimping through the castle, like, what, I'm a human. And also, there's a stranger walking around the castle. Nobody seems to care.
No.
Cinderella's just like, hello, random stranger. Help me with my party planning. Security, there's a man in the palace who was in my room. Get out. Like, what the fuck?
I love how as a human, he looks like a mouse.
Yeah.
Like, that detail kind of like, okay, that was cool.
Like, he still had the buck teeth.
Yeah, and then the really big ears and the really long nose. And I love how he, like, when he tried to, like, say hi to Gus and Mary, he, like, stuck his face in
like, face dives into that mouse hole. Just like,
and it suddenly, like, fits.
Yeah.
Like, perfectly.
Oh, my God. It's so funny. And also, he keeps, completely forgetting he's a mouse. Because he keeps running from the cat. I'm like, okay, but as you're looking down 5 feet at the cat, aren't you like, oh, I'm good? No, he keeps running and, like, being afraid of her. Like, terrified. And so he keeps complaining it's not as easy to be a man as he thought it would be. And, like, I miss being a mouse and I want to help the princess. He's in the castle, in the princess's bedroom, sitting on her bed.
I know. That was kind of weird.
In what? Was Cinderella trying to get fucked? Like, oh my God, I fucking hate this prince. I'm gonna find myself some village strange. And then he's gonna help me plan the party.
Ew. Yuck.
He's in her bedroom on her bed.
He's tired.
She's like, you seem real familiar. I like your buck teeth, your big ears. It seems real familiar.
Oh, that's bestiality, grody.
I'm just saying.
Maybe that's why she wanted to take her mice.
Rodents dressed her for 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
Shit may have happened.
Maybe.
Oh, we need to make a dress for Cinderella. Don't worry. We know her measurements. You know what I mean?
Gross.
Becca's dry heaving over here. So then we get the fairy godmother dress in its 4th color in the festival scene. And so the cat seems to still know that he's a mouse.
Not only one mouse, but like 50 all stacked up together.
Because the cat is full on chasing him through the castle and through the festival. Like, I'm gonna eat you!
Well,
and it's
she was there when he changed.
I know, but, like, the whole point of a cat eating a mouse is, like, it's smaller than me, therefore I can eat it. But, like, is she just, like, gonna just take, like, a bite out of a human and be like, haha, like, what?
Well, you know, cats don't really have big brains.
No. And then the fairy godmother pops up again and she's like, having trouble with your wish?
Well, I think she set him up. She knew
did.
that he would hate it.
She totally is. But she wasn't like, hey, Cinderella, remember how you thought a ball would fix everything? Did it really? Like, she didn't do that. Like, she, like, popped up and said, here's the dress. Bye. Figure it the fuck out. Like,
well, basically, she felt sorry for her.
Cinderella didn't get any coaching. Cinderella didn't get extras.
She didn't need it because she was so pretty.
She was pretty. So, an elephant, because elephants hung out in France all the time.
Definitely.
Gets loose in the festival and is, like, trampling everything. And Gus is like, or not Gus, Jack is like, oh, elephants are afraid of mice. Not true.
They're really not.
Do you know why they do that, though?
Why?
It's the cutest thing in the world. Elephants are very sensitive about harming other creatures.
Oh.
So when they see a mouse, they get really freaked out because they know it's very easy to step on them, which is why they, like, run away from them. Because it's like, I don't want to hurt you.
I love elephants.
Elephants.
They're so cute.
So they literally say the words, are you a man or a mouse? I'm like, oh, was that the metaphor we were going for? I didn't detect it.
Are you a man or a mouse? Well, I feel like that is kind of insulting.
Yeah.
Like, really insulting. Like, poor Jack, you're never gonna learn. You're never gonna be a man because you're a mouse.
You're a mouse. And so he gets turned back into a mouse at the last possible second because, of course, the fairy godmother can't remember her song.
Oh my god, that bugged me.
And then the king is thrown 50 feet through the air.
Into the Ferris wheel?
Totally fine. Look at the stars. I'm like, he landed on his head. He has brain damage.
Well, I think that's why. And every time he lands funny. Oh, in the first story, when they open the curtains, he's like, why are these curtains open? Oh, look at the moon.
That's what I mean. And
He's
then
an ADHD patient that loves shiny things.
And then in this thing, he gets thrown by an elephant onto a carousel. And he's like, what? Oh, look at the stars. I'm like, are you fascinated by the sky? Have you been kept in a dungeon all these years? Like, what's happening? Why are you so fascinated by weather patterns in the sky? So then he gets turned back into a mouse. He and Mary kiss, which mouse kisses are weird. There's fireworks, because there were just fireworks chilling. I know they were in China, but we hadn't started trading with China at that point.
Oh, I know.
They're fireworks.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I thought that was bizarre as well. But, you know, the Ferris wheel pissed me off the most.
Yeah. And the completely modern carnival with, like, red and white striped tights.
Oh, and okay, that Ferris wheel would have never fucking lasted because it was, like, couch material. Mm-hmm. And then, like, made of wood.
And also, what motor was running it?
Yeah.
Like, you didn't even see, like, horses attached to it, like, going in a circle. They were like, oh, no, there's just an engine in there.
Huh. Secretly.
Fuck modern machinery accuracy.
Well, of course, it's a cartoon. They don't care.
So then that's the end of the second story. And again, oh, so they pull, like, a little, like, Sorcerer's Apprentice thing.
Okay, I'm sorry. Didn't you learn from Mickey?
They don't know Mickey. He hasn't been born yet.
Well, fuck.
But, like, they're playing with the paintbrushes like it's the little mops from Sorcerer's Apprentice.
I love when Jack T's like, I'm getting so pale because he's covered in paste.
Like, basically, they try to, like, charm the paintbrush to, like, do the rest of the drawing for them. And the paintbrush is like, fuck you guys! It just, like, paints everything. And they're like, didn't we learn not to play with magic? Like.
But then she uses magic all the time. To,
yeah.
Like, she used magic to turn that thing into a book. So, like, where does she get off being so judgmental?
Do you love that they don't just make a book? They have to take a tiny mouse coat and turn it into a book?
Yeah, that was weird.
Like, I know her whole thing is like, oh, we have to turn, like, rats into horses and a dog into a coachman and a da-da-da-da-da. But other stuff she just makes appear out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, conservation of energy or not. I don't get it.
I don't know. You know, Wiccans wouldn't be very happy with that.
They wouldn't. Okay. Ooh.
Because isn't there a thing where you, like, if you're taking something out of nothing, that means it came from somewhere?
Yeah.
So you're basically stealing.
And also when you take something, you have to give something back.
Yeah. I wonder what she gives back.
We know nothing about Wiccanism. Please don't be mad at us.
Well,
I've seen The Craft.
That's why she's so old. Because every time she takes something out of the universe...
Like, she's actually 23, and she just looks really old. She's actually Cinderella's age.
Or she gets her brain cells taken because apparently she can't fucking remember the song.
Oh, everyone in this movie is brain damaged.
Just slightly.
There we go. We just solved it. So story number 3 is about Anastasia. Because if you were going to pick Anastasia or Griselda to be the nice one...
Anastasia.
They went with Anastasia.
Better.
Okay, Anastasia has a music box of her own sister?
Okay, and did it bug you that it's not, like, the Cinderella song?
No, yes, that bugged me. It's just,
so annoying. Like, if you're gonna, like, have a box that clearly has Cinderella and the prince on it, like, why the hell wouldn't you have the song in it?
Like, it could have been any song from the... Like, it would have made sense to me have it be Sing Sweet Nightingale.
Oh my god, that would have been so pretty.
Or A Dream Is a Wish Your Heart Makes. Or any song from... It's, like, it's just a different song. Straight up, for no reason.
And it's an annoying song, too.
It's like... Like, it's not even, like, a cute song.
So obnoxious.
So Anastasia is all of a sudden like, oh, I want that. Griselda's still a bitch. Because with a name like Griselda, wouldn't you be?
Yeah. But, okay, so can we talk about...
I always want to call her Grisabella from Cats.
Okay, so can we talk about the fact that the stepsisters aren't really that evil?
They're evil in the first one.
But it's like, they're products of their time period.
Yes. I mean, when they're just like, do my washing, do my breakfast. I'm like, well, that's just how bitches are. When they tear the dress off her, that's straight up evil.
That's straight up evil. But in this movie, they weren't, like...
They were just cunty.
They were just cunty because that's how they were back then. That's how you fucking got a husband. That's how you fucking got, like... out of your parents' house. Like, that, it was a detriment. You had to act like that.
And you treated servants like shit because they were less than human to you. Like, that's just true.
That's how you were raised. And Cinderella would be exactly like them if she had been raised like them.
Well, that was the whole thing. It's like, no, like, Cinderella stayed pure and good through it all.
Shut the fuck up. If she hadn't gone through, like, hardship and shit, she didn't live in the front of the fireplace with the ashes, like, she would be the exact same.
Like, their whole thing is that, like, oh, like, Cinderella should have been hardened by all this hardship, and that's why she should be a bitch. Also, in, like, basically every other version of the Cinderella story, it's very clear that her name is Ella.
Yep.
And the stepsisters make fun of her calling her Cinderella.
Yeah.
Only
because she's living in cinders.
Yeah. Only in the Disney versions is her name just straight up Cinderella. Like, even in, like, the old French versions, so, like, there was a girl named Ella, but her cunt stepsisters called her Cinderella. Like,
because she lived with the cinders.
But he's like, hello, Princess Cinderella. I'm like, oh, okay, her name's just Cinderella.
Maybe she just embraced it.
The stepsisters are bitching about Cinderella because, like, she gets to be a princess. I'm like, be grateful you're not in Ever After because you'd be working in the castle. And be grateful you're not in the original because your feet would be cut off. And be grateful you're not in the other original because your eyes would be pecked out by birds.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one.
This is the best case scenario for the stepsisters.
Yeah. They're basic... Or they didn't get sent to America. Like in Ever After?
No, in Ever After, they just have to work in the castle.
No? Don't they get sent to America?
No, because they're like, we'll ship you off to the Americas. And they're like, no, Cinderella, or Danielle, have mercy on us. And she's like, you know what? I will show you mercy. The exact same mercy you showed me. You get to work at the... And they fall in the giant vat of purple dye.
That's funny.
But it's only the bitch stepsister and the mom. The nice stepsister gets to just chill with them.
Yeah, which is Anastasia, right?
In the movie, they're Marguerite and Jacqueline.
Which one is the nice... Jacqueline,
Jacqueline.
Right? Yeah.
Marguerite is the cunt one. I loved her.
Oh, Marguerite.
She's so... And fucking Angelica Houston. Oh.
That movie's great.
So good. I want to watch it now.
But the prince annoyed me.
Yes.
And I hate how Leonardo was in it.
Yes.
Oh, that bugged me so much.
Fucking thing I loved. And he's like, remember, pick wisely. Divorce is something they only do in England. Low-key history burns. So apparently Cinderella is just like, I'm gonna go grocery shopping. I'm gonna sneak out in my old ratted up clothes and go grocery shopping.
But like, why?
I think she's just bored. Because, no, she can't be bored because there's another party to plan. Jesus H. Christ.
Well, yeah. I mean, that makes sense to me because what the fuck would you do in the castle?
But the thing is, like, the stepsister seems so excited. Like, there's a ball happening. Oh my fucking God. Like, it's the annual Thursday fucking ball.
Maybe they're all different. Maybe they're, like, for certain things. And, like, this one is the one where you, like, meet someone that you're going to marry. Like, there's a potential.
True.
Maybe some balls aren't like that. And
like summer homecoming and summer prom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, this is the prom ball. Like,
pretty much. I mean, they have the heart-shaped things.
Also, can we fucking notice that, like, in the first movie, I thought they had, like, a full date. They're like, there's a party tonight.
Oh, I know.
Because the king's like, oh, we're going to throw a ball tonight. Fuck. Can you imagine being a party planner in that castle?
I would cry.
And, like, also, like, I'm sorry, as a girl, you gotta, like, prep for a party that fancy for days.
Especially during that time period. I mean, like, makeup alone was just
You only get a bath once a month.
And then you had to do that thing with your hair.
You had to get your wigs. You had to get a nice enough dress. Your makeup took for fucking ever because it was made out of, like, lead.
Oh, my God. That's
and
so
bird poop.
Gross. So much poop.
You had to hire a coachman. You had to get your horses ready. That takes a good couple hours.
Yeah.
So, like, really, Cinderella, like, girl, the fact that they're like, oh, I only have a date. Like, yeah, that's what you fucking got. No notice. But these ones, they're like, oh, no, we're going to throw another ball. Yeah, and they have the rose garlands, like those heart-shaped flower garlands.
Yeah, so I feel like it's like prom.
It's like the sweetheart ball. Like, meet your love.
Instead of the heart-shaped, the corsages, they have the heart-shaped things.
They're so pretty. Immediately, Anastasia is a girl after my own heart because she smells carbs and she's like, I'm in love.
Right? Okay. I hate it when Cinderella is like, and he cooks too. No, fucker, he bakes. Those are two different things.
He bakes. But literally, she's walking down the street, she's like, bread? She walks in, they spy each other over a basket of fresh baked bread and she's like, I want to fuck him.
Their weird smirk was kind of bizarre.
The baker also doesn't speak until, like, the last 3 minutes of the movie.
Oh, I know.
I thought he was nonverbal, and it was like, oh, it's cute because she never shuts the fuck up and he never talks.
Yeah.
They'd work.
They do. Okay, can we talk about the fact that Cinderella got her ready the day before?
The day of. Like, she's supposed to be planning this party, but she has time to give her sister a complete makeover.
But, like, she didn't give her a complete makeover the day she's gonna hang out with the baker. She gives him the day before. So, like, what? Why? Yeah. Why even bother?
Yeah, but, okay, so the stepmother's like, let's get out of here. Everything in here is inferior. Y'all, you're in France. Bread is like money.
Yeah.
Bread is like money.
Those baguettes were kind of small. So maybe they were inferior.
I think they were rolls.
But he calls them baguettes. Like, remember the mice are in the baguette. He's like, stay away from my
baguettes!
So, like...
The first person who appropriately reacts to mice in that fucking movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, oh, take this fresh loaf of bread. I would marry someone if they gave me fresh baked free bread.
Hell yeah. Nate, take notes.
And we both know I can't bake bread.
Oh my god, that was so tragic.
It was so sad. I tried to make bread last weekend.
Was it last weekend?
Or 2 weekends ago.
I think it was 2 weekends ago.
And literally, I, like, made it on, like hot stones, and I made 2 loaves, and I'm like, Becca, this is your loaf, and this is my loaf. We rip it open, and there's, like, a nice, like, crust on the outside, completely raw inside. And Becca's, like, trying to eat it, and she's just chewing raw dough for, like, 3 minutes. She's like,
well, I don't think I was
done.
A little inebriated at the time. So.
We both were.
So, it was delicious. And then I got over the inebriation, and then I started to notice that the spread did not taste as bread should.
She was just chewing wet dough for, like, 3 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, the cheese helped, but...
Oh, yeah, because we were eating goat brie.
Oh, my God. That brie was so good.
I put goat brie on a turkey burger.
Oh, that sounds good.
Oh, it's all gone.
Oh, of course it is.
It was real good.
I'm starving.
We'll eat after. So...
We're on the third one.
We're on the third one. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes.
Okay, so we just talked about the smirk.
And the mice and the baguette.
Yes.
Oh, he gets kicked across the room by a horse and is fine.
Oh, I know.
He's, like, running out into the square to, like, sweep the mice out, like, fuck, and he runs up on a horse, and the horse kicks him straight in the face, and he, like, lands him on all his baguettes. So, and he's fine.
Maybe those baguettes are actually bricks.
These baguettes are like brick. Yeah, Griselda's like, this bread is like bricks. I'm like, it's fresh baked bread, girl. It's still steaming. Like, so Cinderella finds, oh, no. He's not kicked out of the room. She is.
Yeah.
And she's, like, covered in flour, and she's, like, crying.
Okay, and sorry, Cinderella, what the fuck were you thinking about that stupid plan? That was a dumb idea.
Y'all are gonna meet in the town square, and you're gonna be totes in love. Like, what?
No. That plan to get them again, like, with her and the mice.
Yeah. Oh, and can we say Anastasia's, like, stuff's always been easy for you, because you're beautiful. So you recognized the whole time she was working for you that she was prettier than you.
Well, hell yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That makes sense.
That's why they treated her so badly.
They're like, this bitch is poor and she's pretty. Fuck.
Like, she's a good oh man. We're fucking screwed. That's why they ripped that dress off her. That's why they did all the things to her, because honestly.
But Cinderella gives some sass back. So, Anastasia says, you're beautiful. It's always been easy for you. And Cinderella's like, easy. That's not how I remember it. Which is like, ooh, low-key shit. But I'm still gonna help you.
I'm sorry, it was easy. A fairy godmother appeared out of nowhere and gave her a nice dress and a coach and
after 10 years of suffering. After 10 years of suffering. It was not easy. It was easy that night.
Yeah, it was easy that night.
That night, but 10 years.
But that's what she's talking about.
Yeah.
It's easy for you to meet men because you're pretty.
Except they never let her leave the house.
That's the point, because she could.
But apparently she did, because she's got friends in the village. I don't get it. It's so inconsistent with the first movie. It drives me nuts. So the palace guards let a cat and 3 mice just run through the gates. Like, they're about to close it, and they're like, oh, wait. And they reopen it so Lucifer and the mice can run in. These palace guards suck.
Okay. Did you notice? Okay, Lucifer and Pom-Pom. Pom-Pom as in cheerleader. Is Disney trying to tell us that cheerleaders are with the devil?
Yes.
Like, seriously.
Yes. So Lucifer is immediately in love with Pom-Pom, because if you're going to have 2 cats in a movie and one's a guy and one's a girl,
they're gonna fall in love.
And then we get Pop Song 3.
Oh, I love the makeover song.
This one gets stuck.
I love it.
This one was stuck in my head. Like, that's why I loved and hated this one, because it gets stuck in your head so easily.
Hell yeah. Make me look good. Make me look swell.
Make me look fine. It's so cute. So the mice are making over Lucifer. Oh, because Pom-Pom's immediately like, you're a fucking poor cat. Get out. And he's like, arr, and the cats are like, we'll make you over, but then you can't eat us anymore. And he's like, okay. Also, love that the mice can talk, but the cats can't.
That pissed me off. I want to hear what Lucifer has to say. Lucifer.
What if he just sounds like Danny DeVito?
Oh my god.
And
no.
Pom-Pom just sounds like Bette Midler, the poodle from Oliver and Company.
Brilliant. Okay, I'm sorry. That pisses me off. I never noticed that before. Why do the mice get to talk? And the birds don't either. And Bruno doesn't.
Just the mice.
But I don't care what the mice have to say.
Isn't that
Gus.
weird? Gus.
I love Gus.
Cinderella.
Prunes.
So fucking Anastasia is so extra. She wants like everything. She's like, I want the dress with the 10-inch skirt. I want 8 million necklaces. I want the 10-inch shoes. I want the big ass wig. She wants everything.
Again, a product of her youth.
A product of her upbringing. And okay, so the makeovers for Lucifer are Rasta, because fuck you. Clown. Okay, that's actually French. That I could go with. And a tiny cat tuxedo. Which, you know, what castle doesn't have a cat tuxedo lying around?
I love the collar. It just makes
it...
And
does he have a monocle? I forget. I feel like he should.
He should. Definitely wear that outfit. But, like, why is his hair gray? That kind of pissed me off.
I don't know.
Like he looks like
a powdered wig?
Maybe.
But they're, like, not in that period of time. So Cinderella's advice to Anastasia is, like, be nice and smile. Heifer, that works if you're pretty.
Exactly. Hence why Anastasia said that shit.
And Anastasia smiles like a great white shark. She's like, ha!
Because she doesn't know how to smile.
She, like...
Because she doesn't smile ever because her mom's a bitch.
And also, do you know, like, Anastasia has, like, the ugly-ass, like, poodle curls, but she goes, like, straight up to, like, it's an Ariel wig, I swear to God.
I know.
She's got, like, the big, like, floofy bangs, and, like, it, like, swings, like, halfway down her back. I'm like, just give her a wig change. Done. And now Anastasia has the yellow fairy godmother dress on. Like, the ball gown.
Yeah, so basically she made her look like Cinderella.
Yeah. And
only Cinderella, what Cinderella thinks will look
she's
good.
Like, this is the one silhouette I know. Work with it. Oh, but she's back home getting ready. And her, like, stepmother, like, almost catches her.
Oh, I know. How does she know? How does she know to sit down and, like...
Yeah, she's, like, waltzing around the room with Lucifer the cat. And, like, the stepmother, like, walks by and she, like, pops back. And, like, she's like, oh, I'm just sitting at the mirror, brushing my hair.
I was amazed. I was like, I can't even tell my mom's walking around.
And then Anastasia, like, throws all the bread out the window. She's like, we need bread! And goes, she jacks the entire coach. She, like, kicks the coachman off and is like, bye! And just fucking takes off.
In my notes, it says, why the fuck didn't you take that as a snack?
The bread?
Yes.
That's the joke. They're out of bread, so she has to go back to the baker.
Oh, I know, but why did she throw it away? I would have taken it with me and been like, we're out of bread, and taken and eaten it.
Well, maybe that's, like, the bad bread, and she wants, like the baker actually is the better baker in town. What if, like, they go to the health baker and they're like, that's the gluten-free rolls. That's why she loves him. That's why she loves him, because he has a real bread. And she's been doing gluten-free.
Or no butter. There's no butter in the bread. Or,
Like they've been buying whole wheat, and she's like, I just want Wonder Bread.
Wonder Bread is disgusting. Shh.
You know what I mean.
Oh, I know.
You know what I mean.
Wonder Bread sucks.
So the baker is getting her, like, a rose flower garland. And Anastasia's, like, getting, like, wing-womaned by Cinderella. She's like, just, like, walk over there, like, smile, be happy. At the exact moment the baker is talking to his hot friend, and Anastasia literally sees them touching the same flowers and has a full breakdown.
Okay.
Full breakdown.
Let's take this in real life. If, like, during that time period, if a man and a woman were that close and they were sharing a mutual heart bouquet.
Oh, they were already fucking true.
So, yeah. True. I understand her reaction. And honestly, when you're in love, especially new love, you're, like, really weird.
But I love that she, like, has, like, a designated crying fountain. Like, she's like, and goes, like, running, throws herself down on the fountain. I'm like...
Perfectly, by the way.
You just had a spot that you were ready. And then we go back to the castle because Lucifer is going to go get some pom-pom with a bouquet of fish.
That is amazing.
That was so cute. He's like, a little bouquet and it's all a bunch of fish. And pom-pom is like, all right, you cool. For a first date, let's go eat some mice. And he's like, okay.
Which is perfectly normal for a cat.
But they made a deal that if he helps him make them over,
oh, come on,
he wouldn't bug the mice anymore. So they go chasing after them.
Come on, it's a man. They'll do anything for a woman's attention.
Pom Pom gets wet, and she's like, fuck you, Lucifer.
Which I didn't get, because the fucking mice did that. It's
I know.
not Lucifer's fault.
And then the mice are like, the truce is off! Fuck you! Like,
clearly, I like the cats more than the mice.
I know. Okay, apparently the baker has the same crying fountain as Anastasia. Because, like, she's, like, crying, and she, like, looks around the corner, and he's, like, on the opposite side, like, sitting forlornly, like, holding a crumpled flower.
It's supposed to be fate.
Aww.
They're at the same fountain.
Stepmother finds them both out of nowhere, like, where's Anastasia? Bet she's at her crying fountain. There you are, like...
Kid, did you notice that she always stayed in shadow?
Because she's shady.
Yeah! I think that's what they were trying to say.
All tea.
No.
All shade.
I don't think any tea.
Well, I'm drinking tea.
Well, I know, but like she wouldn't. I don't think she'd be tea. She doesn't spill the beans.
I think she's tea because she's like, oh, Cinderella, you're gonna go to the dress in that? Okay. Like,
sip your tea.
Sip yo tea. So Anastasia's like, I don't care what you say, Mom. I'm gonna go to the ball with my baker boyfriend. And Griselda's like, ooh, I want a man.
Well, duh.
Well, duh. Sorry, Griselda, there's not time for a second makeover montage. You're gonna die a spinster with your mother.
Have fun.
Have fun. So then they're
in
back.
That dress, definitely.
Oh, they go back to the ball, and Cinderella's in the original blue dress. Like, girl, you're a princess. You don't repeat dresses.
You is a moron.
And also, she shouldn't even have the dress anymore. It disappeared with magic.
Oh, yeah.
Or was she like, hey, like, royal dressmakers, I, like, have it, like, remember, like, the dress I, like, wore to the ball? Lost it, don't ask, make me another. Actually, make it for me in 4 colors. I really like that dress. It really does great things for my waist.
Probably.
So they're back at the ball, and we get the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo pop remix. Oh, no, wait, I skipped. So they give the book to Cinderella.
Yeah.
And she's like,
okay, did it bug you that there was no words in it?
just pictures.
Yes. Like, how is Cinderella supposed to know how to tell the story if there's no fucking words?
Yeah, I got, like, the mice were illiterate, and, like, that's why the fairy godmother has to read them the book.
But, like, couldn't the fairy godmother go bippity boppity boo? And then
Literate mice. I can read!
Well,
I can read, Papa!
Use your magic for something!
The castle seems only mildly worried that there's a serious mouse problem. Because they're just running through the halls carrying the book, and they're like, oh, mice! Keep walking. Like, if there were that many mice running through a castle, wouldn't you be like, fuck, ew! Smash them!
Honestly, I feel like that was an everyday thing.
Like, on day 1, she's like, hey, castle staff, real quick, I have mouse friends. If I find so much as a little, one of their toes clipped, I'll cut your fucking head off.
No, I feel like that's a thing because, like, I'm sorry, but not everybody has all the time in the day to kill all the mice. And there's probably, like, tons of mice in all the castles.
Oh, that's probably why they have a
all
cat.
All the time. Yeah. So
Useless. Useless cat.
That's my cat. She's fucking useless. I love her, though.
Cupcake.
Bitch.
So, we were throwing a party at Becca's house, and we were getting ready, and we had locked her cat in her room, like, so it wouldn't get in the way, and we opened the door, and the cat goes sprinting out of the room.
Because she hates my room. I don't know why.
I think just because it's small, and she can't, like, roam around, and so I'm like, Cupcake, Cupcake, and Becca goes, call her by her real name, bitch, and I go, bitch, and the cat stops full, and, like, turns around like, oh, you call me by my name.
Which is weird, because I've never called her that, to her face at least.
She knew.
She knew.
Like, I called bitch, and she, like, stopped and, like, came back in, like, I know my name.
I love that girl. She's a cutie patootie.
And then the closing credits are the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, like, pop song remix. Like,
but then it's, like, weird.
Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, break it down now. It's, like, so bad.
It's like what electronic music used to sound like.
In 1990. I forget.
When was this made?
I wrote it down. I swear to God I did. Shit.
I feel like 2000. I don't think 90.
I think it was 2000, but, like, the writing was all very 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
They've probably been writing that movie for years.
Yeah. And so, okay, so, like, I get, like, if you make a movie and you, like, put a huge budget into it, and then it flops, and you're like, oh, man, that sucks. But, like, if you put no budget into it, and you don't give it a theatrical release, 2002.
Ooh.
You have to know it was about to fail. So, like, why bother making it?
For funsies.
And I guess it did still make money. It had a budget of $5 million, and it made $120 million.
Okay, see?
And that's all VHS sales. Like,
yeah, and at least, you know, it made what it gave, so who cares?
Okay, so just as an ultimate comparison between the two, I want each of us to give our favorite quote from the original. Mine are both lyrics. So my favorite quote from the original is Cinderella's,
"No matter how your heart is grieving, if you keep on believing, the dream that you wish will come true."
which is just like a beautiful lyric and a great turn of phrase when you think about it. Like, dear God, that's like so like, a dream is a wish your heart makes. It's just like, wow. And then a lyric from the second movie, just at what a great songwriter Brooke Allison is.
Make me a star, make me look great, make me look grand. I got style and grace, but it's a painted up face gets you a man.
Great lesson, guys. Great lesson. That's all.
So, my favorite part about both movies? The animals in them.
No! What?
For one, the way Cinderella says Bruno. Bruno. Like,
It sounds like she's Italian.
yes.
Bruno.
Bruno. Dreaming again. Chasing Lucifer. Catch him this time. That's bad.
It's weird.
It's super bizarre. And then, of course, how Gus says, "Dude, Prunes."
Look at me. Cinderella not look like Cinderella. It's true. Something's just not right here. Like a stewed prunes. Exactly, Gus. And why do they have to keep the palace so dark? And that awful dance. And those boring colors that all look the same. And stewed prunes. Especially those rules about keeping commoners out of the palace.
Like, nothing academic or anything. It's just, that's what I think of when I think of those movies.
Stupid.
The first story is my favorite because of that fucking thing. Like, it's terrible.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being like a guilty pleasure, you love to watch it all the time, 5 being like, I'd rather watch paint dry. What does the sequel get from you?
3?
So like, it's fun to watch when you're like playing a drinking game.
Yep.
Yeah. I'd give it like a 2, which is like, if it's on Netflix, I'm gonna watch it.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't be like, oh man, I'm really in the mood to watch Cinderella 2 and like hunt it down to find it. But if I'm like flipping by it on Netflix, I'd be like, oh cool. Like, so like that gives it like a 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5.
Yeah. Any other thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, like, this was childhood stuff, so I don't measure the movie as in is it good or not. I measure it in nostalgia alone.
Yeah. Like, this actually came out when we were kids.
Yeah, so, like, I don't view it as, like, oh, this movie's terrible and blah, blah, blah. I just, like, watched it when I was a kid, and it's always gonna be something I'm gonna watch again and again and again, and I'll never... oh my god, this is terrible, blah, 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 blah.
Like, academically watching it, you're like, this is not good. But, like, you have a good time.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's not boring. Like, a lot of movies that come out today are boring as fuck and same old shit, and I would never watch again. But this, at least, is original and doesn't bug me as much as they do. And I watched it as a kid, so I get, like a glow in my soul.
Aw, she gets a little heart glow. Like, Cinderella wasn't, like, one of my favorite, like, movies. Like, of, like, the original, like, Disney movies. It wasn't one of my favorites. So, like, when the sequel came out, I wasn't like, oh my god, a sequel! And I think it was like, oh, I'm at Becca's house, and we're gonna watch this movie because...
this terrible movie, because we never watch movies that are actually good.
No, but I think I made you watch that episode of The Little Mermaid show about 3,000 times.
Yep.
The one in the tide pool.
Oh my god.
With the bracelet!
Oh my god, I hate that fucking episode because of you.
Okay, you had like 3 episodes on a tape.
Well, yeah, because I didn't have cable. I'm sorry.
And I could never watch it at my house. Whenever I came to your house, you're like, what do you want to watch? I'm like, Little Mermaid, the one with the tide pool. And you were like, son of a bitch. Like,
but I indulged you. I said yes.
I think you finally got wise and just lent it to me. And then I was like, oh, I'm done. Because I like watched it a million times on my own. Oh. Okay, so that is our first episode of Stupid Sequels. Becca, where can people find you online?
I don't know.
Do you want to pimp your Goodreads?
Not really. I mean, I have enough friends. I'm good.
Do you want to pimp your Twitter, your Tumblr, your Instagram?
I don't have Twitter because Twitter sucks. It's made for people who basically go on and either tell them about their day or just make their lives miserable. So I don't like Twitter at all.
On that note, check out our Twitter, Stupid Sequels Podcast.
Well, okay, here's my thing with Twitter, and I'm just going to go out on a tangent. I don't like Twitter because what people say on Twitter.
Twitter is where you, like, call out celebrities and you're like, bitch, you ugly.
Like, I feel like it's made this culture of just terrible people.
It's true. People, I mean, on Twitter. So what's your Tumblr? If you want to share it.
I keep changing the fucking name. Like, every time.
It was Orange Flower Child at one point.
Yeah, it was, but now it's not.
Okay, I'm going to just re-record the segment, so once you find it, I'll just ask you again.
Because I'm the worst.
And I have to look up what all of the social media for us are. For us are. I can speak English real good.
You can. It is Girl with the Book in Her Hand.
Okay, so Becca, where can people find you online?
Well, I'm on Tumblr. It's girlwiththebookinherhand.tumblr.com. And I haven't really gone on my Tumblr in a very long time.
But just in case people want to send you like cash or affection or death threats, that's where they can find you.
Don't do death threats, please.
Cookie recipes. You can find us on our Twitter, Stupid Sequels Podcast. You can find us at Stupid Sequels 2. Get it? Get it? Check us out for next episode. As a hint, between the two, there is a common cast member, not one of the lead cast members. You are never gonna guess it. Like, never. Okay? Check us out. Subscribe, follow, share with your friends, and keep watching stupid movies. Bye!
I say adieu.
What?
I say adieu.
I say do?
I say adieu.
Oh, I say adieu. I couldn't.
Because French, da. She's a stupida.
I'm a stupida. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to the Stupid Sequels Podcast. Please subscribe and review so everyone can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Twitter at StupidSequels2 or email us at stupidsequelspodcast@gmail.com. Every episode is made possible by our sound engineer, Francis Gacod. Our logo was designed by Nicole Wiseman at Wise Shots, and you can find me online at Callie Blair on Twitter and pretty much everywhere else. And remember, even though these movies are stupid, deep down, we really love them.